that so many Americans work tirelessly to do. So, of course, it's appropriate to highlight that. Hunter.
I'm wondering whether you can tell us if Made in America Week will include the Trump Organization or Ivanka Trump brands committing to stop manufacturing wares abroad.
Say that. I'm sorry. If
this, as part of Made in America Week, if the Trump Organization or Ivanka Trump's brands will make any kind of commitment to stop manufacturing gifts, clothes, and other wares abroad.
So there's a couple things that are interesting about that question. First, I think what's really important is the president's agenda, regulatory relief and tax relief, are focused on trying to make sure that all companies can hire here, can expand here, can manufacture here. That's something that he wants for every company, and you've seen him talk about that extensively. With respect to his own companies, obviously it's inappropriate to discuss how anything would affect their own companies. But I can tell you that in some cases, there are certain supply chains or scalability that may not be available in this country. I'm not going to comment on specific products, but I will tell you that the overall arching goal, of course, though, is to grow manufacturing, to grow investment here in the United States, and to grow U.S. workers here. So that remains the overall objective.
Obviously, it might be a sacrifice given certain questions about going rates and stuff, but wouldn't it be sort of a way to show leadership?
Again, it's not appropriate for me to stand up here and comment about a business. I believe that's a little out of bounds. But again, I would go back to the president's broader goal, which is to create investment here, to bring back the manufacturing base. And I think when you look at a lot of these indices that measure confidence, both in terms of CEOs, manufacturers, and they're all-time highs. And I think part of that is that there's a lot of confidence that the president's agenda is going to accomplish that. Charlie?
Just a question about the DHS decision to allow 15,000 new temporary worker visas. How does that not conflict with the president's Hire America message?
Again, I'll refer you to DHS on this, but I think one of the things that you're seeing through this is it's not just the number; it's a lot of the qualifications and a lot of that goes through there to ensure that we are hiring and bringing in the people. As you know, the president has been supportive of the RAISE Act by Senators Cotton and Perdue, which seeks to really look at it more of a merit-based immigration system, and that's something that he continues to push for, and will continue to work with Senators Cotton and Perdue and others to help get that in a place that will focus more on merit-based and really provide the overall reform that he's been talking about for a long time. Dave.
Sean, thanks. What's the White House reaction to the government of Iran announcing that they've sentenced the Chinese-American student from Princeton to 10 years for espionage? And also, could you fill us in on any new sanctions on Iran?
I'm not going to comment on any new sanctions. If there are some, at that point, Treasury will be the one to make that announcement when that's appropriate. Obviously, we're disappointed in that, and with respect to that individual, he is someone that we're keeping an eye on. Yeah.
Thanks, Sean. With regard, I want to ask you about steel tariffs. The president told reporters on the plane last week that he was considering tariffs and quotas with regard to foreign steel.
Right.
This being Made in America Week, can we expect an announcement? Has the president made up his mind on whether he's going to do tariffs, quotas, or both?
I think that the president's comments on Air Force One speak for themselves. When he's ready to make an announcement on that, we'll share that with you. But that is something that the team is still discussing with him. John Decker.
Thanks a lot, Sean. Is the president resigned to the idea that it seems unlikely that the Senate will vote on any type of repeal and replace bill anytime in the immediate future?
I know Senator McConnell has made it clear that he would like Senator McCain back. We obviously wish him a speedy recovery. And as soon as Senator McConnell, as soon as Senator McCain can travel back and Senator McConnell feels it's appropriate, he'll schedule that vote. We feel very confident about where we are now, and we look forward to getting that bill on the president's desk and getting it signed. Jim?
Made in America, I just wanted to ask you a real quick question. I realize you can't speak, as you said, specifically about the President Donald J. Trump organization's companies, but just wanted to get a view from you on what critics are saying about whether the president is the right vessel for this message. After all, he has shirts made in China and Bangladesh and India, other products made, like Trump vodka, made in the Netherlands. So give me a sense, if you could, about whether the president is the right vessel for the message that he's going to deliver later today before the press?
Yeah, I actually look at it in a very different way, which is the president's been a very successful businessman on a number of fronts in a number of areas and industries, and to understand very firsthand what the tax burden and what the regulatory burden do to a business that wants to grow or expand here or hire here. So I think he actually, in a very unique way, understands the challenges that our regulatory system and our tax system put on businesses that want to hire here, that want to grow here, that need scalability and capacity here in a way that maybe isn't because of some of our arcane trade laws or regulations or our tax laws. So I actually think that he's in a very unique way able to talk about the challenges that so many of these companies face as they choose to expand, and some of the tariffs and quotas that they face in other markets. You know, I know that some of the stuff you look at a company like Caterpillar who's out there, and you talk to them about some of the tariffs that they face going into other countries. When you're talking about an earth mover, you know, a D11 or something else, where you're talking about $1 million+ piece of equipment, a 20% tariff is $200,000. So if you're going into a country where our companies are disadvantaged by a huge tariff, that's immediately putting them at a disadvantage. And the president understands what that means to a company that wants to grow and expand throughout the globe and meet new markets and go into other places. So I think he understands it probably very, very uniquely. Fred.